All right. So then after that, things get a little bit normal, right? We've got and right now do you have all those chords already? Okay. What's that? Did you say you have those chords? You can't hear me? I can hear you. Oh, okay. Do you have those chords? All right. What'd you say? Bluffing? Oh no. All right. Well, like I'm not sure that mine are the end all be all, but I think these are accurate. B after you do this, like that. I've got a B minor. Yeah, and I like to do that little kind of thing, you know. Yeah, it sounds cooler to me than a downstroke. It sounds okay, but it sounds really clear and crisp. And then do an E flat major. And it alternates between your E flat major and your B minor. So we've got this. We got B minor, E flat, B flat minor. I hope I was saying flat before. And then it does again E flat major, B flat minor, and then it goes down to A flat major. And I like to do the Hendrix thing here, like with the thumb. That way I can go like with the 9 and the 13 with my pinky. Oh, it's B flat in between the E flat and that B flat minor between the E flat and the A flat. There we go. Yeah. And then it goes from A flat down to G flat. Good. And then D flat, which I do like this. I'm not sure if this is the wisest voicing, but it seems really good to me to go. Seems to capture the melody and everything. So that's G flat, like you did. Go ahead and do G flat. Then D flat. So I'm using this shape, which is like your C chord, you know, moved up a fret with the bar. Exactly. And then yep, and then B flat. And, you know, ordinarily I use my ring finger here. B major. And usually I use my ring finger. But this context, I actually use my ring finger, or pinky, for the bar. Because going from here, I've already got my pinky on that fret, and it just really seems easy to grab it like that. And then B flat minor. Or A sharp minor, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so this part was boom. And actually, you know what's weird is I feel a strong temptation to do like with that boom, 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 that little like anticipation. But when you listen to the recording, I don't think it does. I think it starts on bum, 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 just downbeats. So yeah. After that A sharp minor or B flat minor, it goes back up to E flat. And then B flat minor, A flat major, kind of repeating ground we've already covered. And then I believe it goes to G flat. Yeah, and that's where we have this other lead that goes like I gotta pull it up real quick. All right, cool. So, way it goes is at the end after that B flat minor over here, and you got your E flat. Goes to A flat, and here is where ordinarily you'd think you'd have like you'd go into your chorus, but the verse continues, and so to bridge this, it goes to this G flat, and then you have this sort of I don't know, it's like sort of passive time here, and then it plays that just like it did from the intro where it goes, except now it doesn't do all that stuff. It just does the cool, and then repeats, and just goes back through the whole thing. Cool. So the second time through, that ends differently. Yeah, the second time through, the difference is it doesn't do that G that kind of basically doubles the length. All right. So in my mind, the verse ends on an A flat, and when it does that G flat, it's just doing it as like a turnaround. So the whole verse will be like this. Oh, sorry. Here to me is the end of the verse, but then bridging it to start it again. And then here we have, it just goes back into that, which is the chorus. The intro part there is the chorus. Listening. There's one thing different in the chorus. Let me grab that. It's that part. So the chorus, when you have 2, 3, 4, up. Cool. And so what that is, it comes after your G flat chord, right? And this also can be syncopated, so it's like and I do octaves here on the 11th fret. That put your pinky on the 11th fret. On the B string. There you go. And then down a whole step. Yep. And then down to the 6th fret. So that was talking about the highest, the high note is on the 11th, the 9th, and then the 6th, and down a whole step from there to the 4th. And then down to where you'd have your pinky on the 4th. Cool. And then an octave on the changing strings. We've got the A string, 4th fret, G string, 6th fret. And that's it. Then it's brings you back into that. Not that. Just the... So then the chorus goes like this. We have the same as the intro. Into all that. Cool. So basically the difference is that on the chorus, it's the same as the intro with the exception of how it ends. It ends with this little thing. Cool. And yeah, that's that. Let's walk those notes again there. Nope, that one. It's not pinky on the 7th fret. It's pinky on the 6th. There you go. And then, yep, exactly. Cool. Let me have a listen here. See what it does the second time. Okay, so this part, that's what it does the first time through the chorus, and then it repeats, right? The second time, after you get to this chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, it does G flat, which is what you're doing here. This is G flat. It stays on the G flat for a long time. So you hear kind of a strange transition, and this is where I use going from this G flat, 1, 2, 3, 4 to this G flat, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes up to A flat. Cool. So the first time the chorus ends, like the halfway point is, and then it continues on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's basically that. You go from the G flat here to the G flat here, and then the A flat. But it holds on that G flat for quite a while. And that takes it back into the verse, I believe. Let me hear real quick. Yep, now it's just back into the verse. And I'll just listen through now to hear if anything changes. I think it just repeats the same kind of information. Oh. Okay, there is a difference with the second time through the verse. And that's basically that it's half as long. The part's the same. So remember when I said that, like, to me the verse ends on an A flat, and that G flat is just used to sort of bridge it back into into the verse again, to like basically repeat it. Well, this time the verse doesn't have that G flat because the verse actually ends on the A flat, just like it did at the actual end of the first verse after it repeats a second time. So the only difference so far is that the verse is half as long. It doesn't have that G flat that bridges the verse to repeat itself. And now we're in the chorus. Chorus, I think, is all the same as the previous chorus. Oh, yeah, there is a slight difference in this one too. And that G flat is not held out as long. We got... So you got, Grease is the way that we're feeling. And okay, this part. So the second verse, the end of the second chorus, as where before we had this G flat chord, then went to the G flat again and stayed on that G flat for a long time, then going up to A flat, and then bringing us back into the verse. This time we have same stuff in a way, this followed by this, but it doesn't stay there as long. It's like the same. Grease is the way that we're feeling. Cool, and it doesn't hang out on that G flat very long. 1, 2, 3, 4, just half a measure of each. Cool. Now this is where things get kind of interesting. We've got, well, I mean, the whole thing's been interesting, but the chords we have are E flat minor, 2, 3. This is like a bridge, and then up to F minor, 2, 3, 4, and then F sharp major, and then F major. That's where previously we had it minor. So we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, think that's what follows that up. Let me just double check that. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so do you see this bridge? The bridge. Do you have a question about that? Okay, there's one other thing that's kind of interesting about it is that in the recording you hear that the low note is this over that E flat minor, and then the low note goes down, back up, down. Let me check that out real quick. It does something really interesting that you can incorporate, although you don't have to. Yeah, it just alternates between those two frets, and but it does that over the chord. So if you have your E flat minor chord, you would have this note right there, the G flat, which really kind of changes the perspective of this chord. It no longer sounds like an E flat minor. It sounds like a G flat chord. Then when it goes to the F minor, the bass goes down to F. And then when you go up to the G flat chord here, the bass plays a G flat again. And then when you go down to F, the bass goes to F, right? So really what's going on is you're just alternating that. The bridge alternates between G flat and G flat, F minor, G flat, F major. Those are really the chords. But you hear the arrangement, you hear the high note ascending from here. So I think of it as being an E flat minor chord, although I understand that with the bass note, it's actually a G flat. So you could, if you really wanted to, try to, integrate those. So you'd want to invert this, keeping that note on top as the high note. So if you know your like E flat minor sweep, right? The higher voices there could be used in conjunction with this, right? This may be hard to really keep it going. The next one, F minor, we could do the same thing. This got to be minor up here. And now you've got a problem because this, you're not going to be able to play this shape and this note, I suspect. Very hard and kind of a little unrealistic. But it's the high note here that's most important. So you could play your F minor like this. So now you'd have like this. And then when you go to the G flat, we need those notes. So here you could switch them out like this. And then so you could actually play it with the bass line without like on your own. You got this to this to this and this, and that is putting this with the bass line. And the only thing it's not really important here because you're going to be playing with a bass player. And even if you weren't, you could still do E flat minor instead of G flat major. But that's really what having the bass line offers you. It shows you that it's a G flat major chord and not an E flat minor chord. But yeah, that's the bridge. Did you have any questions about the bridge? Yeah, I think that's all there is to the song actually. Yeah, it repeats from that bridge to the pew 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 pew, and then it goes into verse, chorus. Yeah, chorus and fade out. That's everything, man. That's all there is to the tune. That is a lot. I mean, we covered it pretty fast.